Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Dan Kelly, president of the Spring Lake Association. I'm excited today to be able to give you a tour of where the majority of the water of Spring Lake actually comes through. We're going to start here at this wetland, which almost 50% of the water for Spring Lake starts. And I have a special guest that's going to give us kind of a guided tour of where the water comes from, what happens to that water before it actually goes into Spring Lake itself.
Hi, I'm Jamie Rockney. I work at the Prior Lake Spring Lake Watershed District. I am the Water Resources Specialist, and one of the jobs that I have at the Watershed District is taking care of the ferric chloride treatment system that we have here today that we're going to talk about. So we're inside the ferric chloride treatment shed right now, and in here we house the ferric chloride, which we have in this large tank here. It's a 4,400 gallon tank. We fill this about 2 or 3 times a year depending on how much water is going through the system. The more water that we have, the more we treat. We do have a little level gauge over on the wall so we can see how much ferric is in the tank. That helps us know when we need to refill. We also, over here we have the pump. So this is the mechanism that's in charge of dosing the stream. So we have it programmed with the water level of the stream. So as the water level goes up, the pump kicks up and starts pumping more. So it'll go anywhere between 0 if the water stops flowing up to 4 gallons per hour. And that's done, we program that to do that automatically. Okay, once again, we are at the wetland. This wetland actually captures all of the water from what we call the upper watershed. And the upper watershed has ditch 13, that's the main water system that comes through. It comes into this big wetland here, which settles out a lot of sediment. It goes through this, what we call a weir, which is like a dam, and then the water turns back into a stream, which flows into Spring Lake further downstream. Okay, and now we're standing on the ferric chloride weir. This is kind of like a dam that holds back this whole wetland. It used to just be a stream and a pasture for animals, but when we put in the weir, it backed up the water kind of to act as a filtering wetland. We have, as we mentioned when we were in the ferric chloride shed, that yellow shed which had the tank in it, we have the level logger out here, so that's this white box back here that has what's called an ultrasonic distance sensor. It just measures how high the water is, so that tells the pump how much ferric chloride to dose. Okay, right now we are on the other side of Highway 13, so the north side of Highway 13 where the ditch 13 water now comes through and comes through here, and it follows all the way to Spring Lake, just about a 1/4 mile downstream from here. Another thing to note is that the ferric chloride site, as we mentioned, doses the ferric chloride, and that goes actually underground from the shed all the way alongside this stream. It's in a pipe underground all the way up to where we're going to be going next, which we call the desalt pond. Okay, so now we're at the desalt pond, and the desalt pond is at the end of this little stream here. We were just at the ferric chloride site and we walked alongside the stream, and now if you look over here, this is what we call the desalt pond, and all the water from this stream goes through this pipe right down here, and then it comes under this little berm here. And actually, this is where the ferric chloride gets treated. So you can see that the hose, the little clear hose there, that is where the ferric chloride is. And it goes right down into there. That's the pipe right there, the culvert pipe. And then it doses right into the stream there. So as the water comes through the pipe, the culvert, it all gets mixed and churned together. And then it goes out into the desalt pond where it settles down and it forms a flock. So all of the iron chloride and the excess phosphorus gets settled at the bottom of that pond. And that's the main function of this ferric chloride treatment system. Right now we're standing at the outlet of the desalt pond, and this is the desalt pond right here. This is where all the action happens, where the phosphorus settles out of the water from ditch 13 from the upper watershed. All the flock settles down into the bottom of the pond, and then it comes out the pond here and into Spring Lake right on the other side of those weeds over there. We do monitor the water quality before and after the treatment. So we monitor up by the shed where we were earlier, and we monitor the water quality coming out of this pond. And we do see about a 60% decrease in dissolved phosphorus on average. And the dissolved phosphorus is what the algae likes to eat. That's the main food for algae to grow. So that's what we're looking at and removing for this project.
All right, well thanks guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that valuable video tour. I want to thank Jamie once again, as well as the Prior Lake Watershed District. Hopefully you found it fascinating that about 40% of the water or so flows through the area that we just walked. And the fact that thanks to the ferric chloride plant, about 60% of that phosphorus is being removed through that process. So once again, I want to thank you guys for viewing this video. Thank you to Jamie, thank you to the Watershed District, and enjoy your summer on Spring Lake.